I think it's going to be a little bit better quality than the last time I was here.
Well,
I wasn't able to be here the last time. So selfishly, I'm excited that you're back because I was traveling and Becky was like, oh, we have to redo that. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I get to be there next time.
Well, here's the thing. You want to know what was awesome, Veronica, about the last time we were together? And I just want to say that. So if you guys weren't on the last time, Veronica was traveling. And so our connection was in and out. Here's what I loved about it. And here's how you know when you have someone that has proven success, not just talking about success, but actually has done it, is that people are sitting there and when you're talking and then the connection was lost, everybody's face was like, oh, I wanted to hear that. I mean, it was like, they're like, oh my gosh, shoot, where is he? So, that to me tells me that you have something very important to say that people actually really want to hear. And so we're so happy to have you back. So just for those of you who, maybe been under a rock and you don't know who Veronica Figueroa is, I'm going to, tell you, Veronica has the FIG team, but she's also an influencer. She's a leader. She's a motivator. She's all of the above. And Veronica, your Rev Share business group is now at what level?
A little under 2,300.
A little under 2,300, not for long.
Give or take.
Right? Yeah, give or take, not for long. And at the same time, you have this amazing real estate team called the FIG team, which is fantastic. I love it. Right? That's awesome. And you're doing many, many amazing things for the real estate industry as a whole, just in leading this group, this real estate group of people. And so we're so excited to have you on here with us today and just appreciate you and looking forward. Are you at EXP Summit? Are you at Shareholder Summit this week?
Well, it's happening in Orlando in my backyard, so I better show up.
Better show up. So we're all excited to see you there as well. So awesome. So without further ado, Veronica, we're excited to have you today. And we want to talk rev share, right? Like how do you grow this big empire? How do you start? Where do you go from there? Who helps you? Who's surrounding you? So we'd love for you just to kind of take it away from there and let us know what you're going to be talking to us about today.
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you again for having me. I felt a little bad for last time's connection, but I think things happen for a reason. Because today I get to actually have two of my team members join in who actually help me lead my community of partners and help share the value proposition that we offer to partners and how we continuously want to evolve as a community. So Jenny Berger's here and EC should be joining us shortly. So you might see her coming in the waiting room shortly, and she helps me on the operations side for onboarding. And then Jenny is kind of like, I would say, a community success ambassador, right? Making sure that these partners who choose to partner with us are getting value, feel the community, feel the love, experience what we're all about, even when I am not the one that they get, when they might need to experience the community. And we've just kind of, we're figuring it out. It hasn't always been perfect, but what we realized that it's important. We realized that this is a real opportunity. And when I first started at EXP a little under 4 years ago, I always said I didn't join for RevShare. I did not join for RevShare. People would talk to me about it. Michael Reese and Jay Kinder, they're part of my upline. They're not my immediate sponsor, but when I was talking to them, they talked about the potential. And I was like, well, that's cute. That's really cool that you guys are making like $80,000 a month at the time. And I don't know if it was collectively or individually that they were doing it, but I remember that was the number that I saw. And, they kind of leaned in and said, what would be your freedom number? And my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, I don't know, like, I'm happy if I make an extra $5,000-$10,000 a month. I'm a broker owner. I'm the brokest person in the room, man. Every dollar I make, I have to put back into the brokerage. And if the agents aren't selling, I still got to keep the lights on. So anything is better than those months that you don't get anything. Or I had to still sell. So for me, I was like, I didn't know what was possible. And I always looked at them as this, really elite coaching, like they were gurus in my eyes, right? And I was like, well, that's good for you guys because you have this amazing like coaching program, but it's not why I'm joining. I'm joining for a lot of other reasons. I wanted to scale my team. I wanted to be able to expand into the markets. I wanted to be able to no longer have to have the responsibility of compliance and being the broker, all these other things. And it was so funny because my partner, Gil, one day, you know, he says to me, hey, you need to step it up. He's like, you need to step it up. You're out here slinging all these houses and selling houses. He was like, but what's up with the growth of the company? And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm just doing what I'm doing. And he's like, people are signing up, people are calling. And, you know, I don't know anything about why they're joining. And until one day I looked and I saw my rev share kind of equaled what a commission check would equal. I was like, was this a mistake? And, you know, that's when it really got me. The first check, it was like $2,700. I was like, maybe that's just one good month. The second one was boom, $8,900. Then the next one was like $9,800. And I was like, okay, now you have my attention. Now I'm getting curious. And then I leaned into it a little bit more. And then remember, my first freedom number was 10,000, I think was what I said. And, you know, I hit that pretty quickly. You know, I think, you know, just the stars aligned, and also, you know, I was putting in a lot of work. And it wasn't until I really looked at my dashboard, I said, this is a real opportunity. And we started to treat it like a business, and we started to treat it with intention, and started to really understand if we can pour enough value into people's lives, they will partner with you, and they will grow with you, and they will build with you, and they will lead with you. And I said, all right, who are my leaders? Who are the people that I am seeing are leaders? And it's people like a Rebecca Soto or a Bobby Davidowitz or like, you know, Vincent Koo, Chris Nevada. You're like, these people have the mojo. They love helping people. They love to sell houses. They help people build productive businesses. I was like, that's the winning formula. Help people sell more homes, show up like a leader, pour into people's lives, you know, be there when, you know, they might need some things, anticipate some of the things that they might face, right? They might, you know, need help with, and also show them what's possible that they didn't even know was possible. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm going all in. And yeah, so we quickly grew to like 700 agents in the first year of being with EXP. And then after that, it was like, you know, we've had attrition like everyone. So you guys got to give yourself permission to be okay with knowing that some agents will leave. This isn't for everybody. Some will join, some will leave. You'll be disappointed. You'll be bummed out. But I then I quickly realized, I was like, oh, like if I am intentional with this, if I'm intentional with this, like I am with my real estate business, this has legs. This is real. This isn't just a pipe dream. And it's not just for Michael Reese or Jay Kinder or Brent Gold. Move over. Veronica Figueroa has arrived. And I was like, so I actually sent a screenshot to Jay and Michael, kind of like when I hit the number that they showed me when I hit it. And I said to them, you guys told me that I would hit this number, and I didn't believe it. And I thank you for seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself. This means so much more than a number. It's creating hope, opportunity. It's showing me what's possible, to create financial freedom, to be able to pour back into others. And I always thank them, because I'm like, you saw something that I didn't see or even know was possible. So yeah, that's what we do. And everyone's number is different, guys. Maybe it's an extra $1,000. Maybe it's an extra $5,000 a month. Maybe it's an extra mortgage payment. Everyone's race is different. You know, my journey, everything I do is big. You know, I go all in, all gas, no brakes. There's really no in between with me. So once I saw it, I was like, oh, let me add another zero to this. How many more zeros can we add to this? So it just became something that, you know, is a personal goal for me, is to make, you know, no less than $1 million in revenue share a year. And what the opportunities that can create, the jobs it can create, the dreams I can, you know, also, you know, accomplish with it. It's not just my number, it's for others that are important in my life. And by the way, I also, you know, retired my parents, and I, bought my mom a house, and I bought a really beautiful house, in Puerto Rico. And, every time I, you know, maybe doubt or get in a funk, I remember I'm not sending my mom to Walmart to work in the cart line. So I have to remember why I show up every day and make sure that they don't have to worry about anything. And I really enjoy the view, and I want to spend more time there. So let's stay focused and do this and treat this like a real business. So we grow it with intention. We have made a lot of mistakes, but I think what's really cool is that we've learned from those mistakes. And over time, now we have a full onboarding process. Isis is here. We've actually shared our onboarding process, which I'm happy to kind of give you guys a sneak peek of it. And then Jenny, when we meet with a potential partner, and I think I want to, before I talk about what Jenny does, I think over the last few years, I've also recognized who I'm good for. I am not the sponsor for everyone. I don't want to be everyone's sponsor. I want to attract people who are like-minded and who I connect with and that I feel bring me value as well. In the past, there were certain people I'm like, oh my God, but that we didn't align, or there wasn't true authenticity in our relationship. So I've learned from that as well. Every once in a while, they'll be like, I'll get a person that'll say, I found you on social media. I see what you're doing. I want you to be my sponsor. They just want maybe proximity. And I get nervous around those people because I don't know them yet. So we make it a point to meet with them and say, hey, what are your dreams? What do you want to accomplish here? People join for different reasons. What's your reason, right? And we really try to focus on what's important to them, then box them in. And Jenny does a really good job of kind of creating that vision for them as an extension of what her and I have done together. I've worked with her almost 13 years on and off. We've always supported each other's journey. And, she's kind of seen my world from the beginning, from the inception of me being a real estate agent that really kind of started to grow and take my business serious. So yeah, I'm happy to share. We kind of want to give you guys some visuals too. I know that was a long-winded answer, but I want you guys to understand how deep this is for us, right? And we're just getting started, guys. And I don't care what's happening in the industry right now, how many copycat companies are coming around, how many people are saying that people are changing. We still, hands down, by far, in my opinion, have the absolute best model. We still are the company that have pioneered this, and we are leap years ahead, and we are global. So it's just getting better. And, again, growth comes with some growing pains, and we've experienced those as well. As a revenue share organization, when I look at the offboarded list, and I look at the onboard, I'm like, oh, how do I get them back? Sometimes because I'm like, wait, we just got better. I want to invite them back to the opportunity. So now actually I'm doing a comeback campaign, come back to us movement, right? Because we are so much better, and we're going to continue to get better. And, I'm just grateful to know that as we kick off shareholders, right? We just get re-inspired and remember why we're here at this company. This is the best company, in my opinion. If you're going to sell real estate, and if you're an influencer and you want to pour into people, like, welcome to EXP. Where else would you go? So that's just my opinion. But if you are cool with it, Becky, I'll kind of either have Jenny as well.
I would absolutely love it. I would love for you to run it. I do want to say two things about what you just said, if you don't mind. I'd love to just reiterate two things. One thing that I'm trying to personally get better at, and I love it that you do, is you always talk about your people that are running with you as your partners. And I love that. Your partners. We're in business together. We're in lockstep together, and we're growing this thing together. And the second thing is that what I love too is that you said, by me growing and being intentional about this, I am helping others with opportunity. You're paying it forward. And I think if you guys, as you listen to this, if you could think about, the agents that are in your life right now that may not be with EXP, that you would be paying it forward if you introduce them to EXP, just start there.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
All right, Veronica, I love it. Go.
Well, I'll kind of let you guys tell me what you want me to share. Do you want us to share kind of like a little bit of, I think, Jenny, we'll start off with our resources, right? Obviously, when people come to us, they, I don't know if we can share our screen. If Jenny, if you want to drive or I drive.
Cari will make Jenny and Veronica host. There you go. Go ahead.
Both of you should have access.
All right. Well, Jenny, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and what you do with the partners and how you guys, because at this point, these girls are so good that we have partners joining and I haven't sometimes even met them yet. And they're like, we got you, girlfriend. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic that we have. Jenny, you want to introduce yourself and take it from there and then we'll chime in.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for letting us, share a little bit about what we do. Like Veronica said, we've been co-creating for 13 years. So I feel like I have this upper hand and putting my Veronica goggles is what I call. And I'm like, what would Veronica want to see? What will Veronica want to do in this situation? And that's really helpful to scale her time, right? Because time is precious. Everybody's coming for Veronica. I was telling someone in a call yesterday that, if they could if these partners could take Veronica to their home for dinner every night, they would. They just want that time with her and that attention. So it's like our job with ACES is to create that ecosystem of where they can lean on us and they can come to us and they feel comfortable, and then we escalate as needed. So with our vision build, we call ourselves the vision builders, right? Because people join us for that vision that Veronica casts. Sometimes it's bigger than what they have for themselves. And I think that's the number one attractor that we have. She runs a successful team. Again, to say a little bit of what I've done in Veronica's world, I've been in real estate marketing for 15 years. So it's been an absolute pleasure to be behind her team for a long time, behind the brand. Now I curate her personal brand and we coach the people that are, handling the team day in and day out. So Veronica is a, personal brand, and then we have the team, and she's had many other businesses that I have created that with her as well. This is our team. Our team is ECs, who is the wizard behind the curtains, make sure everything is smooth and as painless as possible. Rich is my husband, and we have the upper hand of being creatives. So we co-create together. We have a studio with Veronica, and we get the partners in there. We give so much value when it comes to just helping them dial in what they want to do, reinvent their brand. This is an exciting time. This is not a time where, oh, it's so hard to transition my brand. No, this is exciting. Let's get pumped about, how we're going to turn this into a positive. This is like reimagine what your brand can be. So, I do the brand consulting, the culture side of things, the strategy. He helps me execute, get the videos, get the photos, get the lifestyle, like reinvigorate everything for these partners. So this is just a page, with some resources. Veronica, feel free to interject at any time, but this is, again, just some resources. We have our Facebook groups that we run. We have our vision builders. We have our winner circle, which is Veronica's frontliners and her VIPs that we call, that we just have that communication back and forth, and we're always giving them that value. We have the bigger umbrella, which is the Global Alliance and the Honey Badger. So, the model explained some of the EXP trainings that ECs has curated through the years as well. We have a weekly mastermind. I just got off of that. And that's where we put our top partners who are thriving, and we make them give back to their community. So we have a mastermind every single Monday, like clockwork, and we highlight people. And, it's my job to keep my eyes peeled and see who's winning, who's thriving, who are we going to make share what they're doing, what's working, what's not, what mistakes are being made, like how do we get better together? We have our partners, because my husband is a videographer. I'm like, hey, let's, Veronica's like, I want videos of everybody talking about what it's like to work with us. We're doing a whole new revamp on that. And then I'll show you a little bit about our handbook that we give our clients and our partners and ECs as well. This is something that we present. Veronica's really big on experience. She wants to make it as seamless as possible, as, she doesn't want people to check out with all these steps that we have to do, especially in the EXP world. So it's like, this is our handbook. I don't think I'm sharing my audio, but it has like a page noise, it feels like you're going through a page. And, welcome to our network. This is what we do, kind of, get everybody locked into our culture that we've built. But everything's here, everything's linked. It's like, you're going to talk to ECs, Jenny, or Rich, right? This is your team. This is your concierge. Step one, and ECs will talk about this, but we get to know our partners. We pull them. We have, Google Forms that we use. And then I'll tell you a little bit about a community app that I use to manage the community. This is something Gary Vee uses, Tony Robbins, and it's very helpful. I'll go, actually, let me just show you that on the back end really quick.
Hey,
since I'm
Jenny,
here.
before you go to community, can you show them
Yeah.
also when you click on the partner information, we actually capture like data. What is it that we put on that form there?
Yes. Thank you. I wanted to hear that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Because
so we
we know
just
that
have,
information from EXP also sometimes is limited or clunky. So we try to get it on the front end, like, you know, give us your headshot, give us your bio, things that, you know, you like to do, because we like to also gift things, you know, when there's something special or they might be going, you know, like something special is happening in their life. We stock them, but getting their date of birth is important to us because we want to give them, so that when they get the information, we have every single partner that is usually a VIP or a frontliner's date of birth on our calendar as well. And we kind of send them personalized videos. And, you know, if we want to do something for them, we at least have that information up front.
So this
help
is,
them out on
you get-
social.
I'm sorry, you get this once they decide, once you guys have accepted them as a partner on the team, in your rev share group, regardless of who their direct sponsor is, they come through this? Or is this if they're
Only if the partner involves us in it. Like we have some like VIP partners that will include us in everything. They're like, hey, I want it to feel like what you guys. Then we have others that, you know, they might sponsor onesie twosies or not big growers, but this is stuff that we would focus on with our growers to help them if they're bringing on like a whale, or, you know, how we use that term here, big teams or brokers. But for the most part, these are mainly my VIP frontline growth partners. But we're building a world where we want more resources for our, you know, growers in general is what we call them. But a lot of them have their own autonomy. They like to do things that they're entrepreneurs. They want to do it their way, but they've taken inspiration by what we're doing. And now they're like, oh, can I recreate that? We're like, sure, no problem. So then that's when they'll spend time with Jenny and she'll show with them what they would need to do so that it can feel like their business, their vision. It's not really going to want to promote my face. I might be cute, but everybody don't like me being the front of their stuff. They want their own stuff. Okay.
That's a huge value add right there to being a part of your group.
Come on down. I'm sure.
It's great. I love it. Go ahead.
So we have our community, which is our SMS text community. And, you know, this specific platform is really great because they give us an actual phone number. It's not a code, you know, like text Veronica no, it's like an actual phone number. On the user end, it feels like you're texting Veronica. It's just very, you know, it makes you sign off on a few waivers, but you know, just to say this is a third party, but this is the back end. And the messages that are coming through here are full on conversations. Sometimes, you know, they're telling me they love me and they think they're talking to Veronica. And, you know, I'm reminding them, like, sometimes there's a, you know, oh, this is Jenny, you know, but, you know, it feels personal to them. It feels good. I invite them to things like we're having a meetup, you know, so all the frontliners got invited to a meetup tomorrow because they're going to be in Orlando for shareholders. Veronica and I, we live in the details. We live in the, like, really, like, you know, we live in the charcuterie board, like really special moments of life. So, yeah, so we're having, you know, these meetups and we try to keep that intention behind things, even though it's hard to scale, right? With people all over town, all over the states, all over the country. But, you know, this is our way of always bringing that community in. So definitely community is a huge thing for me. I love to have those conversations, send them assets. If we're on a call, I'm like, text Veronica this keyword and it lets me manage a whole community based on keywords they're sending, emojis they're sending. I can send them Google Drives of information depending on what they want. This is my biggest thing as a marketer is that I want to know, see, Sandy loves Veronica. She's like, I love you, Veronica, right? So she talks to me all day telling Veronica, and I tell Veronica.
Her yet, but she's coming, she's coming.
And I tell Veronica, hey, by the way, she said this, if there's something important, I pass it on to her so she's not like, but when people
here's
come
what we
in,
know. Sandy today missed Gap, but she also told us she was sick. So I'll probably send her a little like box to like just let her know we are so sorry that you missed it. We're so sorry that you're sick. And you know, as part of our recruiting strategy, which I'll talk about that in a little bit, is like love on these people before, you know, we love on them when they are our partners, but we also love on them before they're our partners too.
Okay, so that answers Bill's question. He said, how are you reaching out to potential recruits? So what I'm hearing is you use community, which Gary Vee has talked about this, right? Is this the same?
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
This is just
Yes,
one of the many ways. We're gonna make sure we touch base on recruiting.
I
in a
got
little
it. Okay, but this is
yes.
not just for your people, it's also for recruits. This is awesome. All right,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because Veronica's personal brand is so many things, and she talks about so many things. One of the most important things when I came on board to the EXP side was that I'm peeved when I come to somebody's community for this kind of content and I'm getting all the other stuff, right? So I try to segment everybody. Are you interested in events? Are you trying to partner with me? Are you interested in my coaching? Or do you like my motivational videos? I don't know. Like, just tell me what you like so
Yeah.
that I can send you more of that and you're not getting everything in the document, right? So that's my idea behind community, and we get them into the community right away. So they're texting us there. And then Isis is going to go over Co-Assemble, which is beautiful platform that she has built there. And then we just get everybody into the right communities. We have Global Alliance EXP University, that's the app, but we have our Global Alliance University where all of our trainings are. I mean, we just, our group had to kind of build everything just like you guys probably do. But I'll just show you my back end here. All of our coaching zones are on here. Our GAP masterminds are on here. All the resources basically are in one place for our community to have in one university. So we make sure they get into that. There's an app as well. These are our groups. Everything is linked here because again, it gets overwhelming when they're coming on board. And then, register for that. We're excited to partner with you. But yeah, I know it's a lot to go over, and you all experience this every day. It's quite a bit, but we just try to start, getting people into everything that we've put our time and effort on, and to make sure we're listening to how we can help support their business. So we always say it's the heart, the art, and the science, the systems, the heart and the art, the graphic design, the content, the curation, the brand. And, Veronica's the heart, the art, Isis is the science. So we come together and we have these great pillars of the vision.
I love it. Oh
That
my
was
God.
so amazing, Jenny. You're amazing every single
you.
time. And then,
you.
of course, EC's handles. So when you have this many people onboarding, and I mean, I don't want to say we have the most, but like we've learned, like there was a time we had, 3 teams, 4 teams onboarding the same week, and there's times we have at least probably, I don't know, a good number of teams onboarding and former broker owners and people that are, expecting a high level of transition. We had to figure this out, and I love EXP, right? But again, growing pains, they weren't always running at the same pace that we were running when it came to development and improvements, even though we knew it was on the radar, but we had to still say, what can we do to make it better? And agents are already confused and overwhelmed and scared, and they're thinking, oh my God, I'm changing companies. If they have no business, maybe they have time, but if they have business, they got a lot of things running through their mind. And then they got to look for all those 101 million emails that EXP is going to send them, then download this, then download that, then, right? So we're like, wait a minute, which I know all that's improving. So again, that was pre today, but we took it upon ourselves, thanks to EC's and her having to deal with this. She was like, oh, I need to create some efficiencies in our world. So she created an onboarding process for us. I'll let her just kind of skim over it briefly, not the whole thing, but just so you guys can get an idea. And then I'll go into what we do to attract agents, right? What are the different things that we have found, because we asked people why they chose to partner with us and how they found us. And I'll share a little bit about that. EC's.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. So like Veronica was saying, one of the biggest challenges that we have is throughout the transition and what that's going to look like for, agents join for for different reasons, but we want to make sure that the transition is smooth as possible. So I am kind of like the middle person between Veronica and EXP. They come to me for everything that has to do with onboarding. So I walk them through the entire process step by step and what it's going to look like for them. So I just really want to create something that they can go to at any time, and it was centralized in one place. So I built costs. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So this is Co-Assemble. It's an LMS. that I built, and I basically combined all the tons of emails that we get and all the resources that EXP already provides. It's just like they're kind of scattered right now. So I just put everything in one place. So I schedule multiple calls with the agent. The first call is for the application call. Once they have applied and they receive their EXP welcome email, I schedule a call with them to walk them through the resources, right? Just to make sure that they have downloaded SkySlope, Workplace, EXP World. And then I ask them, like, what was the reason? Why did you join EXP? And if they mention, well, I joined because of revenue share, then I'll go in depth into that topic. But I give them a brief overview. I have agents that have been in the company for years and they don't even know how to log into to find their stock. So I just don't want to have agents go through like being lost for so many years within XP, because like I want them to be excited about joining and all the resources they have available. So I think onboarding sets the tone for everything. Like how you onboard your agents, the experience that you give them from the beginning is really going to set the tone for the future. And one of the reasons is because then the challenges become different, right? They're like, oh, I want, production, or how do I recruit? Well, if they don't even know what the resources they have right now with the brokerage, because they weren't onboarded correctly, they don't know about revenue share. They don't know about stocks. They don't know about anything. So they're not excited to recruit, or they don't even know how to. So I just go over this entire LMS is basically step by step. And we talk about the fees, the marketing, the training, healthcare, revenue share, stocks, how to become a mentor, how enterprise works, SkySlope, KB Core, anything they need. It normally takes a little bit more than one meeting. This will be the initial meeting, but then after that is basically unlimited support through calls, through emails, text messaging, Zoom calls, whatever they need.
Aren't
Wow.
they brilliant?
So I do have a question for you. So in this, again, just to look at kind of the scope of it, it's really anybody in your group that chooses to use it can use this, or again, is this for your VIPs, for your people that are coming in just for you, or is this scalable throughout the organization?
So how we have it right now is every frontliner has a seat on QuadSemble, and what they can do is share their login to the team members, partners, or anyone that they wish to share this information with. But as of now, I give a seat to Veronica's frontline.
Perfect. That's great. Awesome. So then they have this resource that they can use for the folks that they're focused on bringing in. This is excellent.
He also uses as a recruiting tool because it does have all the information they need before joining. So this is super helpful if they want to join to show them everything already in advance.
That's awesome. That's really, really smart. Love it.
Awesome. Let me post anyone.
And of course, EC's also works on the FIG team side. So a lot of the people that we attract are team leaders. So she can also speak to what really happens in the day-to-day leadership of a team, which is a lot of reasons why people join us as well, is because they want to scale their team. They want to set up a meeting with our COO. They want to talk to our ISAs. They want to learn how we're scaling. So that's our avatar. If you can learn who your avatar is, right? Maybe you're the farming expert. Maybe you're that community expert. Maybe you're that person that's crushing it on YouTube. Maybe you're crushing it on social media, right? Really get crystal clear as to who you are. It's going to be easier for you to support your partners. Like for me, I kind of live in multiple worlds, live in the, I one day want to be a speaker, or I one day want to be an influencer world. But really my real bread and butter is I want a team. That is, EC talks to me all the time. I'm like, well, I run a team purpose. She's like, that's your hit record. You always have to have a team. She tells me that. I'm like, okay. But it's the reality. It's what people come to, why a lot of people partner with us is because they truly believe we can help them with production, lead generation, tips on, selling more homes. And at the end of the day, aren't we a real estate company? That's what we should be talking about, right? But of course, we also have partners who aren't team leaders. They're just aspiring team leaders, or maybe they're top producers looking to scale, maybe looking for their first hire. And we can coach them and help them through that. She does kind of live in both worlds. Jenny also has a lot of familiarity to it because she worked on the team as well. And she's been so entrenched in my world. So she'll know who to reach out to should we, be doing a training or need to share resources with someone, or someone wants resources, she'll know who to go to. I think there's a question with Julie.
Yeah, so Julie raised her, yes, she's got her hand raised. And then I know Bill had a question in the chat as well on recruiting. Go ahead, Julie.
Good morning, Veronica. Well, I guess it's morning over here on the West Coast. Wow, what an honor to be in the same room as you. I have two questions, actually, if I may. One of them is I'm in production and I'm doing attraction. Both of them full speed ahead. I've icon 3 times now with EXP in the 4 years I've been there. And so, but Asian attraction is definitely in my wheelhouse now. And I'm finding myself that I'm in this gamification thing with Monica there. And I don't know, I'm exactly like you, gas pedal, no brakes. And so because of this, I've scheduled all these meetings. I'm a relationship-based agent. I've never really focused on, I've never bought leads or anything like that. So I'm having these meetings with these people in person, and I'm feeling I'm a little bit out of control with no kind of system in place with follow-up, right? Because I'm super impatient. So I'm like, I talk to them about EXP and the model or whatever, or I don't. Maybe I'm just creating a relationship with them. I want to send them a book, maybe The Go Giver, or, something like that. Is there a system in place when you first got started with all of this that you were doing to make sure that you touch on them and that you follow up with them? And then I have one more question about teams.
Yes. So, listen, what I want all of you guys to know is by far, we are not perfect. A lot of this has been ad hoc. A lot of this has been trial and error. At one point we had, Grow. At one point we had, another CRM that someone said was the next best CRM for agent attraction. And I really honestly try to keep it simple. Jenny has community, and I have my little rapid funnel that I don't even bother Jenny and EC's on it. Is it what I feel is the best? No, but it works for me. So whenever I have a new partner that I'm really nurturing or trying to at least send them something, and this is evolving because it's really not where I want it to end. And I'm actually having a meeting this week on what the evolution of my resources are going to look like. Because for many years, I used other people's resources, Brent Gold's resources, Jay and Michael's resources, but now it's gotten to a point where we have enough credibility where it's time for me to start being the face that they see in some of these videos. And it took me a long time to kind of have that confidence in myself. Believe it or not, I know people might think that's weird because they're like, wait, you not being confident? But the reality is, I never really thought that people would want to see me in these videos. But what I share, I'm going to share here quick with you. What I do is I use Rapid Funnel, and you could do this in Grow. Grow is the other one, right? ECs that we had it in that we could put the videos in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I use Rapid Funnel. Whenever I have a new person, I bring them in, I come in, I do this little contact, I add them in here, and then I'm able to send them resources and campaigns. At least it tells me they're watching it. So on my calls, when I talk to people, I already want to know what they know about EXP, right? And I am the worst person. If you hop on a call with me to learn about EXP, I'm going to probably shut that call down. And I'm like, girl, I am the worst person to ask anything about EXP about, because I want to get to know you. I want to get to know about your business. I want to know what you are wanting, because a model is a model, even though I still think we're the best model, but I'm not trying to use that hour to teach you about our cap or talk about this. That's not sexy to me. What I will do though is, hey, do me a favor. Can you immerse yourself in these videos before we hop on our call? Rip it apart. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you know about it. And then when we're on the call, we can focus on the nitty gritty, on the good stuff, right? Every once in a while, someone gets on my calendar that they'll say, tell me what I need to know about EXP. I'm like, well, I don't know. What do you know? I don't know anything. I was like, gosh, you don't know anything about EXP? if you had to guess, what do you think we're known for? And then they'll tell me what they really know, but I'm not doing a full-on presentation. I leverage this. So the Engage tool, I'll be able to obviously send them a sizzle video. I'll send them, you know, kind of like the invite of what the opportunity is. And in here, it'll say the presentation video, gives them a complete detail. It talks about teams and brokers, why partner with us, share your info with us. And then I have a follow-up campaign that I can turn on as well. And it's, you know, again, model explain, revenue share, benefits of partnering, death of a real estate agent, burning the boats, hear what agents are saying, blah, 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 blah. This was something that was shared with me, and I just repurpose it and I pay the fee because it's simple. Is it my final destination where I'll end up on how I communicate with partners? No, because at this point, I now want to add my own flair to it. And I'm going to share with you guys, like, for example, I just rolled out some new videos with, you know, the team structure standards, husband and wife team domestic partnership, how to qualify for mega icon, differences between self-organized teams. And Jenny and my team obviously broke that down, and I was doing it more podcast style because I love Brent Gove, I love Gene Frederick, I love Jay Kinder, but honestly, not everybody wants to hear from someone who has been in the business that long, or not everybody wants to hear from a man. Maybe they want to hear from me. Maybe they want to see me as the authority, right? So because I've been at the company for so long now, I feel like it's time for me to have my own vault of resources, right? Where people can get to know me and trust me and know that I know enough about the model, but I let them absorb that and kind of like process it on their own time, because that also shows me how involved and how committed they are, right? So these videos now are a new kind of like vision for us, but my goal is for it to live in a CRM system that will create obviously the dashboard. And then what happens is it'll let me know the points that these people are earning, right? It'll tell me how many times someone is clicking through it. It'll tell me how, you know, how, what I love, it'll tell me this person is watching it in the middle of the night. And I'm like, ooh. And then the next day I can, like your regular CRM, nudge them and be like, hey girl, I was just thinking about you. Lies. I got an email telling me that you were watching the video last night, but I'm going to nurture them and love on them because I want to answer their questions. And if I see that they're watching one particular video over and over again, I think they're talking to their spouse, they're talking to their team, they're talking to their most trusted advisors. That's important to them. So I'm going to make sure that I'm providing value to them. You know, and I don't know if that answers your question as far as how to manage it, but and how to basically introduce them to it. But what I would do is have something where you can share these resources after you're on a call with them. What's that follow-up? And what I tell people, if I do talk to them before I send these videos, hey, you have some great questions. I may not have got to answer all of them, but guess what? There's so many more answers that you might want to have answered that I want you to be able to go through it on your time. I want them to see these videos because I want them to hear from other partners, other faces, other people that have had success, that it's not just me. So that's kind of like a back end. And Jenny and Isis don't even touch this. This is just me because I need stuff to keep me organized because I'm not the most organized person. And even though I don't always use it, it is it's a tool I use with intention.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I was looking for. Exactly. My last question is just about teams. When you very first started on your journey or whatever, how did you even tackle or know, I mean, how to even, I mean, I'm a solo agent, but I'm finding that 34 agents in my organization, which I'm just baby, right? I'm feeling team stuff keeps coming around me. And I just am not sure where to even go with that.
I mean, it takes a special person to run a team. It does. And I know you have what it takes. You just have to decide what kind of team, right? Teams don't have to be big. They don't have to be a certain way because I run a team one way. You can run it completely different. It can be with showing agents. It can be with admins. What you're doing when you're building a team is you're just buying back time, so that you can focus on the things that you really enjoy doing. Like I enjoy leadership. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy marketing and creating business opportunities for my team. Although I was a good listing agent and a good buyer's agent and a good agent, I had to buy back time in order to focus on the other areas of the business that I really enjoy, which is leadership, which is growing the company, which is creating opportunities at scale. So you have to decide, Julie, what kind of team leader you want to be. why you're starting a team in the first place, you know, what kind of team, you know, you want this to feel like, look like, as far as everything. You know, the avatar. Do you want a younger team that's hungry, that's brand new? Do you want an experienced Navy SEALs team, you know, that you feel like we only want people who sell 30, 40 homes a year and we're the top producers, you know? And I tell team leaders who think that, be careful when your profitability walks out your door if you're not recruiting, because a production team is a completely different mindset than a, you know, a true production team is more than just an admin, 2 showing agents and 2 friends that like each other. I mean, it's a real business and these people are choosing to partner with the leader. So I love teams. It gives me back more time. And then I like talking to team leaders because team leaders, we have something in common. Leadership, they're focused on recruiting, and they understand, you know, that they're running a business that requires, you know, value, processes, and it's not something that everybody can master. And when I talk to team leaders, we're all learning from each other. Hey, what's working for you? What's not working for you? Like, I were to share my one of my newest partners, Kendall Bonner. She'll be at Shareholders. She's one of my favorite people. Although I'm her sponsor, I'm learning from her every day. And why? She's a team leader, and we're brainstorming and we're learning things. And I'll share one of the things that we did, that we implemented, which is a referral link, right? A referral link that, because so many people know me, they'll do, you know, they send us referrals all the time, and I needed to streamline our referrals. It wasn't just email me a referral link. I mean, a referral to our, before it used to be email me the referral to our email, right? And then I was praying that that referral would be properly handled, right? That it was put in the CRM, that we update the team leader, that we, or the person referring us. That could get lost in translation sometimes. What do? We went to a mastermind. We had this idea. Kendall executed it. We copied it. And it's a link that says referveronica.com. I think it's that thing, or it's the Figueroa team /VIP referrals.com. It's a landing page. They put all the referral information in there. They put the referring agent. And ideally, the goal would be to also upload the referral form there, but then it instantly goes into our CRM. It instantly has a campaign around it to update the agent, to update, you know, the ISA, to update my VIP referral designated person on the team. And they know when that comes in, that's a VIP referral. That's a referral that is because it's in my network. So like, I love team leaders because we're always sharing and growing. This isn't some kumbaya thing. Like, we are legit trying to find better ways to run our businesses. And it just excites me to be in the room with other team leaders.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Kevin had a question about my recruiting. If I had to give you guys stats, hands down, social media is my #1 attractor. IG, I would say, is #1. LinkedIn a little bit, Facebook, YouTube. But we also do a lot of events, and we also, you know, we rub elbows with a lot of top agents and a lot of agents. And then we also open our doors in our office for people to come and check our world out. Like, come on out. And if I'm going to a conference, you know, I'm making sure I'm meeting up with someone to have a conversation about their business. I play the long game, guys. I'm not one that looking to like say, like, I mean, one of my partners who just joined, you know, we've been talking for years. But guess what? She's already got 100 people in her downline. Right. And she's only been with us for 60 days. So like, I'm willing to bank on some of those long-term relationships that continue to help us grow at scale versus the one-to-one relationships. I host masterminds in my office that will, like we have one that's called Scalable Approach. We did that one, right? We opened up our entire books. We had teams from out of the area fly in to see what we do. And I had my entire team go over what their roles are, what they do, our CRM system. Guess what? We had 100% conversion out of that room.
Oh my goodness.
Except one person, but she's coming. She's coming to Shareholders this week. I'm gonna get her. But, you know, and then some have come and some have left. That's okay. But it works. Our events work. So for Kevin's question, as far as what works for us, we do a little bit of ads. We can do ads because we're a real team. Technically, you're not supposed to do ads, but we run ads on that. We're always looking for people to join our team. But that's a specific segmented list. The DNA of a member, an agent on my team is different than the DNA of a grower or a general at EXP. I have found, I could be wrong, I have had agents grow and evolve on my team to spin off and start their own teams. And for the most part, majority of them stay at EXP and we love on them. But I have found that I have two separate avatars, the team member and the team and the partner in my organization usually are not the same. And the question was, is my frontliner mostly local for you or out of state? That's a great question. I have a good blend and I'll tell you why, because I have a team. So, you know, when they come to us and they want to join the team, naturally they go on my frontline unless one of my agents introduce them. But usually they call because they saw one of my ads or one of our email campaigns. We run a 52-week email campaign to agents as well in our database. So they're like, I'm ready to join a team. So if they're sponsorless, they don't have a sponsor, no one introduced them to the team, then they would go on my frontline. But the majority of my frontlines, which I'm super proud of, the majority of my frontline is their top teams or people from out of the area. And it's a really healthy blend. I was doing a report and we found out that, Isis, can we pull up Soliex? Do you have access to Soliex still?
Let me see, I changed computer, so I had it saved on my old one. Let me see if I can find it right now.
Okay, Soliex is a cool tool that we use. Basically, it tells me what our per agent productivity on our front line in our organization is, and we have one of the highest in the entire company as well, because I rub elbows with other top agents. So my front line is actually a nice mix. I have great partners in Houston, New York, Jersey. I do have a lot of partners in Texas, And then of course I have many frontliners in Florida that are not necessarily in Orlando, but I have a good number, a good blend of team, top producing teams, out of state area. I hope you guys are getting value out of this.
Yes, I'm taking notes. I mean, like list, like page. So yes, we're getting huge value. I know I am.
And I'm always, just a phone call or a workplace away. I mean, if you can't get me, obviously, maybe it'll be one of these amazing leaders who will help. But let me just show you guys real quick one last thing, because running your organization is important, but treat it like a business. So this is our performance overview. This is a third-party system that I use, and it just basically shares with me what we're dealing with. And as you can see here, I mean, these are real impressive numbers, right? Potential revenue this year is 755,000, even with the declining, let's say the climax that we have. But I come in here and I'm able to see which one of my partners, which are the top agents by revenue, who should I be reaching out to? Who, like this I look at. We need to do a better job of looking at this a little bit more, but this tells me a lot about who's transacting, who's closing, who is who in my organization, who are my FLQAs, like what am I dealing with when it comes to my FLQAs? It's really important for me to know who's dropping off, who's not dropping off. So I am kind of like obsessed with this information, not just here, but in our other dashboard. And this I like because this is evolving. It's actually letting you know when our birthdays, when our anniversaries, and we plan to be a lot more intentional with this year, because we understand that revenue share is something that at the end of the day, it the same way people say, oh, you can set it and forget it. You can't forget it. You have to pay attention to this. You have to know what's happening here so that you could really decide, what kind of organization you want to run.
You know what, Veronica, what I'm hearing you say, and I'm hoping that everybody gets this, because you might say, wow, Veronica's got this huge organization. She didn't start that way, right? Veronica, it didn't start that way. But what I do, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Veronica is talking, her language is systems. So even if, right, Veronica, even if you're in the beginning of this rev share journey in building your group, even as a single agent, there is a system out there by which you can reach out to agents and you can track them and follow up with them, right?
Yeah. And I think what's important also, and I just wanted to give you guys an idea so I could even see here where my partners are at on this map. And I can, give referrals out through this, but I just, I am very intentional. I mean, they're not always perfect. My ideas are sometimes shot down a million times, but I do have a vision. I would say, guys, I know you might think, well, she's too far-fetched. Start with having a dedicated day, like Brent Gove teaches us, and he still uses yellowpad.com, a yellow pad with a pen. Write down the top 50 people you want to be in business with, that you admire, that you're inspired by, that know you by first name, that trust you. Get into conferences. Go venture out, go meet new people. Because sometimes you guys know we're not a prophet in our own land sometimes. Like the people love me more outside of Orlando than when they do in Orlando. This is gonna be my favorite week in Orlando because you guys are coming in and you guys love me, but most people in Orlando are like, I don't want her here. Like, no, I'm just joking. But it's the truth. You gotta go out there. But if you could dedicate one day to growing your organization, what would that look like? If I were you and I were starting out brand new, I would go to ChatGPT and say, what are the top things real estate agents are searching for right now? Help me come up with a script for it that is witty, that is fun, that is inviting, that is inspiring, whatever your personality type is. And I would have all those videos based on that. You don't have to follow the script, but you know what people are searching for, and build your value bank on bringing value to agents. Get your stuff out there on social media. And then if you are truly getting value, build a database of agents and just share with them. Say, hey, I put together this video informational on helping agents grow their business. I wanted to share it with you. I'm super passionate about giving back. I'm taking time out of my schedule to just kind of like pour into the future of real estate. Tell me your feedback. Like, take time to build your future. That's what revenue share is, guys. But you have to carve out time on your schedule to build this. So if it's Fridays that your business may not be where it needs to be at, you have permission to now build your future, but it has to be with value. It's like we say to people, don't be a secret agent. So don't be a secret leader. You're a leader that hasn't yet maybe seen, that hasn't recognized that you could be the next rev share earner. Maybe your rev share, don't asphyxiate. When I first got on the call, I think I heard someone saying you weren't caught up with the outcome. You're not tied to the result, or the outcome. You're just falling in love with the journey. Fall in love with the journey of who you become as you start working your revenue share group. You need to be okay with rejection. There are people that are going to reject you. That is okay. You learn something about yourself. That just simply means you haven't poured enough value into their lives. So build something on Fridays. Brent would call them Freedom Fridays. Do your top 50 list. He says top 100. Go a 100 if you want. Start off with 50. Find out what they do. Start a little local mastermind. Start a little local mastermind in your group. Maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you like YouTube or social media. Do a mastermind around social media. I do them on Teams. I also do women networks because I love women empowerment and I love helping women unlock. And part of my recruiting strategy is a really big community of women that in the past, we all used to like size each other up. And I'm like, oh, honey, you're just like me. You got problems just like me. You might have marital problems, children problem, vision problems or something, but the MLS doesn't define you. Who are you outside of real estate? Get these women in a room with me. That's it. I'm gonna unlock that heart, make them cry. And next thing you know, we're best friends. And they used to hate me. So get your value clear. And it's going to become so easy for you to recruit. Don't worry about how many numbers I have. Run your own race. Don't worry about how many other people have. Start with one. And then from there, another one. And then from there, another one. And it gets super exciting. I have another call I have to jump on, guys.
Yes. Veronica, this is amazing. Can't wait to see you in a couple of days. I'll be there on Wednesday. So I can't wait to see you at EXP Shareholders. It's awesome. You guys.
Thanks, you guys.
We love her.
Just help one person and just
Thank
help
you.
the people. It all works out. See you soon.
Love it. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Veronica.